So I think it's live now. Hi everyone, my name is Uche Agor and I am a registered nurse currently practicing in the UK. I currently work in the emergency department. In this channel, I bring you updates about nursing, immigration updates, and fitness. We all know that getting a certificate of sponsorship now from the UK is a little bit challenging, and a lot of people are worried and concerned about the expiration of their IELTS exam and CBT exams. So I have thought within myself, how can I help people within my community or nurses who have been reaching out to me? So I reached out to a colleague who is currently a registered nurse in Ireland, and she's currently practicing as a dual registered nurse and midwife in Ireland. Our guest today is Bukola Adeyemi Daniel. And aside from nursing and midwifery registration in Nigeria, like I earlier mentioned, she's practicing in Ireland. She has over a decade of experience in various aspects of nursing, and she currently works as a clinical nurse manager and an infection control nurse specialist in Ireland. I have known Bukola for a very long time from university days, and I can say for sure, and beat my chest that she stands out academically and clinically. Nurse Bukola, please, can you tell us about the steps on how to become a registered nurse in Ireland?
Okay, thanks so much, Uche, for inviting me. Okay, so let me just start by saying that Ireland is different. Ireland we're talking about today is different from the UK. Like a lot of people mix it up. Is
With the
the
Northern
Republic of
Ireland.
Ireland different from Northern Ireland? Northern Ireland is part of the UK, but this is the Republic of Ireland, a country on its own. Now,
Yeah.
to be registered as a nurse in Ireland, you need to register with the Nursing and Midwifery Board of Ireland. It is called the NMBI for short. Now,
Okay.
before you start registration, of course, you need to have your valid international passport and also write your English test or
Okay.
IELTS or OET. So for IELTS, the requirement is minimum of 6.5 in one component and 7.0 in the rest. So the 6.5 could be reading, speaking, writing, any, but just make sure that it's just one 6.5, 7.0 in the rest, and overall 7.0. Then once you have that ready, you can go to the NMBI website. Just type my nmbi.ie on your browser and create your account as a new user. Just follow the prompts and you get your account created. It's very easy. Once you create
Okay.
your account, what I usually advise people to do is to apply for their verification with the nursing board of their country, or nursing council of your country. Let's assume you're coming from Nigeria. That will be the Nursing and Midwifery Council of Nigeria. And that's because verification is what usually takes time for most people. So just do the application for verification first. Then while your verification is ongoing, you can put your documents together. So once you
Okay.
create the account, that the NMBI account, you just go to overseas recognition because you're coming from abroad. You answer some set of questions, and that will put you in your category. And if you're coming from Africa, it will put you in the category you belong to. And the documents you'll be required to upload will be your international passport, your transcripts of training, your
Yeah.
curriculum of syllabus, your certificate, that's your parchment, your certificate, employment form and qualification form. The employment and qualification form, you can download them from the NMBI website. So for the employment form, you take that to your employer. The employer completes that, sign, stamp, and date it. And your qualification form will be for your school. So it should be your dean or your HOD, or if you are from the School of Nursing, your school principal or your college provost will sign your
Okay.
qualification form. So you download those ones from the website, while the other documents will come from you. So those documents coming from you, like your curriculum, your syllabus, your certificates, and so
Yeah.
on, you have to notarize them. And what that means is you have to take it to a lawyer or a solicitor or a notary public, and you go with your original and photocopy, and then you just attest to it that they have cited the original copy. Then they will sign, date it, and put their details. So that's just what notarization means. So you have to notarize them to be able to upload them on the website. Once you upload the documents, your qualification form, your employment form are all uploaded, then just confirm that your verification has been sent by the Nursing Council. Once you're able to confirm that, then you can pay your recognition fee. So the recognition fee is 350 euros. You can pay the equivalent of it. So once you pay the fee, your
Yeah.
assessment will begin. And once they start the assessment, if they require any other information from you, like for some people, they may have some disparities in their names, the arrangement of their names, or change of name, or disparities in dates. They will reach out to you by mail to tell you that you need to explain. So if you have those issues, just give them the explanation or give them the document. And once they complete your assessment, then they issue you a decision letter. So the decision letter may be compensation measure required. That means that the standard of your training is below the standard of the Irish education or training. So you are required to either write an exam or complete a period of adaptation. That's for general nurses, for mental health nurses, either exam adaptation. And the exam is usually conducted by the RCSI, that's the Royal College of Surgeons in Ireland. And the
Yeah.
adaptation will be the employer. So you can't decide whether you want to write exam or adaptation. It is your employer that will decide. So once you get your DL, you apply for a job and you get an employer. The employer will inform you whether their candidates usually write the exam or they undergo adaptation. So from
Okay.
there, you come in, write your exam or do the adaptation. And once you complete that, you complete your registration, pay €145 to the NMBI, and you get your PIN. So that's just the process in a nutshell.
Thank you very much. That was a quick that was a quick one. So do you know how long this takes, or is dependent on how fast schools are able to send back those documents?
Okay, so yeah, you're correct. It's dependent on how fast the school, nursing council, everybody sends their documents. But if all the documents are sent within before, it used to take time. Like for some of us who did the paper process, we stayed up to a year plus before we got our DL. But now people are getting their DL. Once the NMBI gets everything within a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month, people get their DL. So it's all dependent on how fast you're able to get your documents and if the documents are correct and there are no issues.
Okay. And then so once they're able to get their PIN, what's the process like? Do they just come in with temporary visa, get their PIN, go back and wait for the main visa, or then look for an employer?
Okay, so it's two ways. Like if you get an employer from your own country, let's assume you already got a job. What you
Yeah.
just need to do after your DL is that your employer will apply for something they call the atypical working scheme. They call it AWS. It's a temporary work permit, or they can ask you to apply. Once you get that, you can apply for your entry visa with the atypical working scheme. That's like the temporary work permit. So once you get the atypical working scheme, you come in. The atypical working scheme will last you for 90 days. So within that
Okay.
90 days, you're expected to come in, write your exam or complete your adaptation. And then once you get your PIN, your employer will apply for the critical skills employment permit. That is your employment, your long stay employment permit. So with that, you are a legal resident of the country based on that work permit. But some people may not get employer from their own countries. Like what people are doing these days is they just apply for exam visa. So that's a temporary visa. That's just to come in to write exam. Again, that visa is just for like less than 90 days. So for those coming in through exam visa, which is a short stay visa, they have to go back to their own countries because it's not a long stay visa. Then after writing the exam, they get their pay. They can get a job. Like I know somebody who came in, she wrote her exam, she got a job with
Yeah.
the stay visa within that period. She got a job and she went back to Nigeria. So now she's in Nigeria. The employer is processing her critical skills employment permit while she's in Nigeria. So once she gets it, she can
She
even
gets to
apply
come
for
back.
her family. Yeah, once she gets critical skills. So it depends on whether you got your employer while in your own country or whether you're coming with your exam visa. So yeah.
Okay. And you said she can come with her own family. Can you tell us how long it takes for them to bring in families?
Okay, so for those who come in, let's say those who got their employer from their own country and they came in to write exam and they got their critical skills employment permit. Now, initially it used to be longer, but now people usually get their family visas within 3 months, 6 months, 7 months now. But initially it used to be longer than that, but now it's kind of shorter. So it depends on how you're able to get all your documents together. I usually advise people that once you pass your exam, and your critical skills employment permit is applied for, just put all the other documents together, your marriage certificate, your pay slip, your bank statement, put it together, send it to your spouse, and let your spouse also put his own document and document for your children together so that once you get your critical skills, it's just for them to book your appointment and apply. Then you wait for a decision. So that's it.
Okay. For people who are not currently in Ireland, can you tell us what I don't know if it's rated according to bands. Do you have like band 4, band 5? Is that the same?
Okay, okay. So for Ireland, we don't use band four, band five like that. We just have we have pay scales. Like
Okay.
one thing about Ireland is they consider your years of experience to determine your level of pay or where they placed you. So let's
Okay.
assume I'm coming in now. If I just let's assume I have 4 years of experience and you
Yeah.
have 8 years of experience. If, for instance, if you're working, coming to work for the HSC, the HSC is just like the NHS in the UK. Ours is HSC, that's Health Service Executive. So I will be placed on a band four, on scale point four. That's what we use, scale point four. While you will be placed on scale point eight. Once you can verify your years of experience, like your employer where you have worked can verify that, okay, you have 8 years of experience, you can verify I have 4 years of experience. So based on that, what your salary will be placed on. So the fact that we're coming in at the same time doesn't mean that we'll be on the same pay scale because our years of experience might be quite different. And then every year you move from one scale point to the other. For instance, now I just have it here. The for let's assume I'm coming in with 4 years of experience. That means I'm on
Yeah.
scale point. So my salary would be like 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, will be like 36,000 something now on the pay scale. I'm just trying to look it up here. So every year I'll be moving to the next pay scale. Like I'm scale point four this year. Next year I'll move automatically. I'll move to scale point five, 6, 7, 8, 9, like that. The same way you are also moving. So everyone is moving. And until we get to scale point 11. That scale point 11 is the highest like for staff nurses. Then once you're on that scale point 11, you just have to wait like 3 years. That's what they call long service increment, and then you get the highest increment for that scale. So that's how it's done. So your pay is based on your years of experience. And along
Okay.
the line, you now let's say you took up another role as a nurse manager, your pay scale will also be different. So let's
Okay.
assume that I came in with 4 years of experience and I'm on 30,000 something per annum, and I become,
Okay.
let's say, a nurse clinical nurse manager one, then my salary will move to the salary grade of the clinical nurse manager, which is about 50.
Regardless of the experience.
So that's how it works here.
Do they pay based on enhancements? Like you have a night shift enhancements, weekends?
Yes, of course. Then we have something they call the enhanced nurse scale. The enhanced nurse scale is also for nurses that have acquired experience over time. Like for instance, if I'm on a scale point four and I apply for the enhanced nurse scale, I'll be on scale point one of the enhanced nurse scale, but it's going to be with increased salary. So that's how
Okay.
that works as well. And then if you're working weekend, I'm talking based on the HSC now. So if you're working Sundays, you get double pay for your Sundays, 25% extra for your night. So all those premiums, bank holidays, double pay also applies
Okay.
depending on your practice. And also, if you're working in specialties, even though if you don't have the qualification, let's assume you're working in pediatrics, you get location allowance as well on top of your salary. And if you have a specialist qualification, you also get specialist qualification allowance for your salary. So that's how it works.
Okay. Thank you. I know you mentioned a few documents starting from international passports. Do they also need police clearance? Can you? Is it possible for you to list documents people should get ready prior to starting this process, aside the international passports and their RN?
Okay, so police clearance comes in when people are applying for visa. But for the recognition process with the Nursing and Midwifery Board of Ireland, what you need is your international passport, you
Yeah.
need your transcripts of training, your curriculum, your certificate, as for if you are from university, they call it attachment, or
Okay.
from the school, your testimonial. And then for some people that maybe have change of names or something, you have to put your change of name, affidavit of your change of name. So, or if you have any extra documents you want to add. So those are the major things because you're going to be assessing when your verification with the nursing council. That's what you need.
Yeah.
Then if you have any other, if you have additional information based on your circumstance, like change of name, or maybe there are some disparities in your dates and all those things, you can upload further documents. Then your qualification form, that's you are downloading that from the website. You give that to either the principal of your school, your dean, or your HOD to complete that, and
Yeah.
then and your employment form. The employment form, you're also going to download it from the website and send it to your place of work, your workplace, and your head of nursing services or your nursing supervisor will complete that, stamp, sign and date it, and then you upload it. Those are the documents you need for the recognition process with the nursing board. Then
Okay.
when you do your DL and you get a job, or maybe you're coming to exam and you want to apply for visa, then at that point you will need police clearance because you are going to be submitting that to the
So
embassy.
yeah.
You need clearance, you need your DL, and if let's assume you got an employer and the employer apply or you apply for the atypical working scheme, you also need that as well. And if you're coming in through exam visa, then you have to put your exam booking and then your proof of funds. That's if you're coming into your exam visa, proof of funds, and so on. So for the visa application, there are different requirements for different visa applications. So what I usually tell people to do is just to check the Irish immigration website and you find
Yeah.
all the documents there. So it's very easy and straightforward just for you to put all the documents together and submit it to them. And for the Irish embassy, we don't go for Irish visa application. We don't go to
Yeah.
the Irish embassy because it's not accessible to the public. It is through VFS. So you have to book through VFS. VFS
Okay.
give an appointment. You submit your document to VFS, do your biometrics, and then VFS takes your document to the embassy, and then you wait for the decision. So
Wow. If all the documents are received and the decision letter is issued, between when the decision letter is issued and when the person will get back their passports, do you know how long it takes roughly?
okay, so it's the embassy that decides that. But for most people, it's usually between 4 to 8 weeks because by the time you're
Okay.
applying to the embassy, possibly you have your exam booked already. So we usually say 4 to 8 weeks. Make sure that at most or at least 4 to 8 weeks to your exam date. Make sure you apply to the embassy because there could be some delays. Some people might not get the visa back on time, maybe because they are checking. Because the Irish embassy is very, very thorough. They will usually check everything. If they suspect anything, they will find out. Even the NMBI is very thorough. A lot of people receive different queries. If they notice anything, like they use microscope, I don't know how they check every comma, every full stop. So if you make any mistake, they're going to point it out and they'll ask you to explain. The same
Right.
thing goes to the embassy. So I used to tell people when you're applying to the Irish embassy, just make sure that you have all your documents properly aligned and make sure that everything is in order and you are transparent as much as possible. So if there is nothing within 4 to 8 weeks, you should be able to get your decision, your visa.
For the HSC or HCS, HCS, yeah,
HSC.
HSC. Thank you. Do they give what's the support like for foreign trained nurses who are just new to the country?
Okay, like you mean in terms of pay or
No, in terms
which
of settling in, training,
okay.
support.
There are supports. They have support systems for people coming in.
Yeah.
Like um, you have you have some courses that you need to do. Sometimes if you are coming in through agencies, because some HSC hospitals recruit through agencies, so you'll be dealing with agencies and some directly with the employer. So they usually ask you to do some courses online before you come. You can start some courses online, or once you come in, we have
Okay.
a called the HSC land. So that HSC land has a lot of courses. We have mandatory courses like manual handling, children forest, a lot of trainings, a lot of courses that you have to do before you settle in. And some of those courses have physical and online components. Then some of them, once you do the online component and you
Yeah.
resume, you have organize the physical component. So you have that as well, so that you can settle in on the job. The only thing I can say is for the exam, the RCSI is the RCSI, the Royal College of Surgeons. They are the ones organizing the exam. They don't like provide training like the way we have it in the UK. That once you come in, they can train you. But RCSI doesn't do that. They only ask you to go to the website and study the information. That is the only thing. So what we just do for ourselves is we just like people that are writing the exam, just to assist those who are in the process, try to gather them together and tell them, okay, this is what to expect, this is how you can practice for this is what you can do. But the RCSI does not give accreditation to any training center. Just go to the website.
Wow.
So that's how it's done. Then for those who are going for adaptation, the employer might give them orientation for like a week on what to
Okay.
expect before they start. That's for adaptation. Some of them, you just give them orientation and then they start. But before you resume, you do some courses. So that's what it's done. I don't know if I answered the
Yes,
question.
that's I understand that. So talking about career growth, you've mentioned it already. So there's career growth regardless of how many years of experience one has had. So you've talked about bringing family, and we have some people viewing. If you have any questions, please drop them in the comment section. I'm just going to ask, do you have any advice you want to give nurses who are aspiring or who are currently doing their internship and who are currently waiting for verification from NMC Nigeria? Do you have anything to reassure them?
Okay, well, I'll just say that for nurses who are aspiring, if you think it's worth the move, like if we all have a different career objectives. So if you've read about Ireland and you think, okay, it's going to give you the opportunity to advance your career the way you've always wanted to, why not make the move? Well, what I usually tell people is no one said it's going to be smooth, but eventually it's going to be worth the effort, the time, the resources, and everything because you won't regret making the move. And again, let me say again, because most times when I like have the opportunity to discuss things like this with people, I usually say issue a disclaimer to say that we are not saying this to encourage brain drain in Africa or people's own country, but we're just saying it for people who love to explore and advance their career. Because at the end of the day, if you have the exposure, you have the knowledge, you can still use the same knowledge and exposure to better your own country, the health system of your own country. And sometimes you may not even be there physically, but your own contribution from wherever you are could actually better the health system of your own country. So it's not to encourage injury, but just to promote career advancement and for people to explore, to be exposed, and to improve in their career. So if you think it's worth it, why not take the step?
Thank you so much. Thank you for keeping to time and thank you for your presence. Thank you for enlightening us, Nurse Bukola. I'm going to put the link to the NMBI in the description when I'm done with the call. And then if there are any other links, I will add them onto the comment section. Thank you everyone for joining. I'll just check on Facebook to see if there are any questions. Okay, there are none. Okay, there are no further questions. I will end the live stream. Do you have any other thing you want to say?
Okay, so I think I already talked about career. I talked about like if you want to advance your career, it could be like clinically in terms of management, education or research, there are opportunities, and the government usually issues sponsorships. Like people apply for sponsorships every year, and they get government sponsorship, HSC sponsorship, study some courses to become clinical nurse specialists, advanced nurse practitioners, clinical nurse managers. Some people are clinical skills facilitator in education, research, and so on. So there are opportunities for career growth and advancement. So it's worth it actually. That's what I would just say.
Lastly, I know that people who want to relocate with their spouse that are not nurses might be concerned as well. Job opportunities are definitely there for them.
Yes, of course, there are job opportunities depending on what you're doing back home, and also it depends on if you want to change. There's opportunity for you to change your career path as well. You may come in here and maybe what you're doing back home may not be something that you can find here. You have the opportunity to change your career path and find your feet. It's just that when you're in a new place, you need some time to really put yourself together. But at the end of the day, you find something that you also love to do in another place or in another new place that you may find yourself, and you see yourself flying it.
Okay, I will end the note by saying that Nurse Bukola is also a YouTuber who has taken a break but has so many informations on her YouTube page. I will add it when I edit this video on YouTube. I will add the link to her channel. So you can also go through her channel and find out more information about Ireland and then drop any concerns in her comment section. She will respond when she has the time. So Bukola, thank you so much for this session
Thank you.
and have a lovely evening, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye.